Hello, everybody. Here we are again. How are we all? Are we well? Are we connected? That would be good. I hope you are, and I hope you're going to stay with me for the next hour or so while we have a look at some very exciting news items. I've got some headlines, I've got some updates. We are going to have another look at the beautiful Sue Wilson fishing collection. But tonight it's all about our wonderful stockists. We're going to celebrate them and we're going to let you know where you can track down the goodies should you wish to. Hi Kim, how are you? Hope you're well. So, we'll just give people a few minutes to hop on and say their hellos, and then hopefully, if everything's going smoothly, we'll get cracking. So we never know, do we? There's always these little, you know, gremlins that get in there. Hi, Hayley. Yes, I'm fine. Thank you very much. Hello, Sue. Hello, Sue. Hello, Bethan. Lovely to have you all here again on this Thursday night. Isn't it dark now in the evenings? Hi, Emma. Hi, Christine. Yeah, it's really dark and it's really wintry, isn't it? Nights have closed in and the clocks have gone back, and yeah, we're in the winter quarter now, aren't we? Oh, and that event, that big event's coming up. I don't see it. Haven't even thought about it yet. Ooh. Hi, Sheila. You're not late, lovely. Only just starting. Yeah, windy and frosty. Wow. Oh, you can keep that. Don't send it down here. Hi, Pam. Hi, Kim. Hi, Christine. Hope you're all well. It's very lovely of you to come and spend some time with me. Certainly wouldn't want to sit and talk to myself, although, I do that quite a lot as well. But hi, Jamie. Hope you're okay today. Hi, Sue. Yes, big coat weather. Dig the boots out, the warm jumpers. Yeah, I don't mind. I like any sort of weather, really. Um, as long as I can get cosy afterwards, that's the nice bit, isn't it? Snuggling up um, with a nice hot drink and, put your feet up. Yeah, that's lovely. Can't remember the last time I did that, though. Hi, Angie. Lovely to have you. Hazel, Linda, hello to you. Hope you're all very well. Okay, so I think we will get cracking now. So the first thing I'd like to do, hi Andrew, is look again at this collection. Now, some of you I know have seen it, maybe even seen it a couple of times. You might have seen it on Hobby Maker. I was there last Saturday showing this collection and it went down a storm. People were loving it. Oh, Kim, is it? Oh, happy birthday for next week. That wasn't what I meant, but it's a big one. So, as I say, I had this collection at Hobby Maker on Saturday, and it was very, very well received. And I'm not surprised because it's absolutely gorgeous, and there are so many bits and bobs in it that you can make up scenes with. You can do simple cards, you can do big cards, you can do scrapbooking. It's fabulous, and it never does any harm to have another look, does it? So let's just do that, shall we? So here we go. Sue Wilson, our wonderful die designer from the great US of A. Very exciting, of course, that she's back on board with Creative Expressions, and Jamie's persuaded her to come out of retirement and do a little bit more for us all, which is really wonderful. Um, so, oh, the cat, yes, they're going to be there no matter what you're doing. They like to be in among it, don't they? Good luck with that one. Right, so let's have a look at all the different elements of this collection again, and I'm going to whiz through it a bit more speedily tonight. So this one is our fishing frame. So this is quite a big die, and this one is retailing for $14.99. When it cuts, you get the big outer pattern, and you get 2 sentiments, happy birthday, to a really cool guy. You can use those individually or together to make up a phrase. There is lots of snippability within this frame. All of these elements can be picked out in colour, or they can be snipped out and used independently. They can be decoupaged on top and built up. The frame itself can be snipped apart. I loved a card Jamie showed on Monday, on his Monday Night Natter, and he sort of separated it here and here and cut all these bits away and opened it out into 2 corners. I thought that was gorgeous, and I have got that card somewhere in my box of tricks. Here we go. So it gives it a completely different look, doesn't it? And it gives it a lot more versatility as well. So I love that. He's still kept some of the features attached. All he's done basically is separated it and then just opened it up. I think that's beautiful. So that's one idea. I've got lots of ideas to share with you tonight as well. So let's have a look at some more examples with this wonderful frame, because I have got so many. Our wonderful design team, of course, and Sue herself, and some from Jamie, and I've done a few myself, which I don't know what I've done with them though, but if I find them I'll show you those. So as I say, that's the fishing frame, and just the sheer versatility of this is gorgeous. And here's a fabulous easel card where it's freestanding above the fold of the card, and then we've got to the really cool guy on the stopper platform here. Hi Kath, hi Joyce. And then all the little elements picked out. It's absolutely beautiful, and it might look like a lot of work, but it's really not. It doesn't actually take too long to do all of that, and it's worth it because it's so gorgeous. Here's a completely different take on this, and we've got fishing in the pink. So I think we have a lady fisher here, perhaps. I shouldn't categorise, should I? But you know, I'm old school, sorry. So anybody that likes pink, of course. And I love that we've got a fish stuffed in the net up here. That's so beautiful. It's really clever. Sparkly fish, pink fishing rod. I just love it, and it's so different, and that's what's wonderful. When I get the design team samples, I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, really, always a beautiful surprise from them. They're so talented, and thank you, if you are here, any of you, thank you so much again for all your hard work and creativity. It is appreciated very much. So another example here, this one a little bit more rustic. I did say I was going to whiz through, so I won't linger too long. This one's from Sue, and I love what she's done with the pinstripe in the background. Strips of multicoloured card, create a whole panel, and then build the frame on top. And another one from Sue where she has cut the sentiment, gone fishing, and laid it over a sheet of double-sided adhesive, and then infilled the rest of it with glitter. So that's actually a lovely sparkly background. Can you see that there? It's really pretty. And then again popped the frame on top of that. And I love this one with the sunset in the background. That's really gorgeous. And we've got the canoe standing up here. So that's our fishing frame, and really beautiful, and you will see elements from it cropping up everywhere on the samples. So let's have a look at this one now. These are the fishing essentials, and this one is going to retail for $11.99. This one has 8 dies, but you actually get more than 8 shapes when you cut them, because some of them are multi-shapes on one die. So the fish all come on one die, and thank goodness they do, because they'd be long gone if they didn't. These 3 hooks, flies, lures, whatever you want to call them, they all come on one as well. Then we've got the hat, the bucket, the canoe, the boat, the bulrush, and a couple of floats. So lots and lots in this collection, and I think for $11.99, you know, that's really good value, and that's going to have legs for a long time. You're going to be able to do such a lot with it. These items will pop up on a lot of the samples, but let me see if I can just find a few to show you. Here's one with lots of those elements picked out in gold mirror card. So we have the large fish, that comes off a different set, which I'll show you in a moment. But we've got the boat, the bulrushes, the bucket, the rod and the fish come from a different set, and the hat on this one. So you're going to mix and match these across all of these sets. It is very difficult to pick and choose, I have to say. Here again we've got those flies or hooks, and we've got a jacket coming up shortly, and there's the hat. So lots and lots of elements in this set that's going to give you a lot of choice, a lot of versatility. Then we've got that jacket. Now this jacket has proved to be more versatile than I even thought at first glance. I mean, for instance, here's one that I just showed you with done in rustic country green, and the hat as well, and this is done in our gorgeous linen paper, which is beautiful. But I have loads of other examples, and I feel that the design team really went to town with this one, bringing up lots of different ideas. If I can find them, I'll show you them. Bear with me. I've got so many samples, they're everywhere. Right. Oh my goodness, there are a lot. Right, so I will show you these, because I, for one, when I looked at that jacket, thought, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Being honest. But honestly, when you see the variety of samples, I had to eat my words. So here's a very pretty sample. This one's from our lovely Sharon, and she's gone all in the pale blue. We've got the pale blue jacket with the hat stuffed in the pocket, because when it cuts, I didn't show you the thing, did I? This, when it cuts, it has a lot of embossed detail. And these are little slits, so you can stuff the pockets with whatever you wish to. It's really fun. So Sharon's taken advantage of that and stuffed the hat in the pocket there. Now again, a really fabulous colourway done in sort of purple and pink camouflage. The hat as well, and I love that we've got a bit of thread knotted through the hat there. That's a different take on it. Cutting out the V, because it comes as a whole shape, cutting out the V and overlaying the fronts allows you to even have a jacket that opens. There is one that Sue did, and the front's open. I'll see if I can find it. And then we've got a Z fold, and we've got very vibrant pink bulrushes. Love that. It's so different. I love it. This one's from Sue, possibly slightly more traditional in the khaki green, but I love that she's two-toned the pockets, and we've got all those little bits and bobs stuffed in those pockets. This is from the frame. It's been snipped out and done separately, and it's lovely to do that with it. This rod is actually from the side of the frame, and then this is the fish that comes with its own rod, which I'll show you in a mo. Here we have another one. I love this. This is from Sue as well, and again she's picked out the pockets and stuffed this pocket, and we've got the hat to go with it, but she's actually managed to highlight the zip. I mean, that's a steady hand, isn't it? That's really lovely, and it's got the zipper. All of that detail does come out embossed when you cut this through your machine. It's all there. And when you pick it out, doesn't it bring it alive? It's amazing. Here's another one from Sue. I love the colour of this, that she's gone really quite dark, like a dark grey green, isn't it? again, popping things in the pocket. We've got the fishing rod, and we've got this lovely bow and some bulrushes. And the sign, and picking out the detail on that sign is a great way to go with it as well, isn't it? Here's another one with beautiful wood grain in the background, and I love the sort of distressing on this particular jacket. This one's from Ian. He's really decorated the hat beautifully as well, and we've got the rod here that comes with the fish, which I will show you in more detail shortly. Now again, a beautiful colourful one. This could be a high-vis jacket, it could be a workman's jacket. We talked about obviously people who work out in the country and on farms and things like that, or people who are gamekeepers, they wear this type of jacket. But walkers as well, you know, ramblers wear these sorts of waistcoats, don't they, to keep warm? I think, what do they call them, a gilet. And look at this hat, how splendid, with a little fish on the brim. I love that. I also love the marbled background. And then another khaki one, and again we've got pink going on. I love pink and green, they're opposite each other on the colour wheel, so it works beautifully, doesn't it? Really, really nice. Here's another one, and this has been done with the crushed velvet paper this time, so that's got real texture to it. And then we've got these pockets, and they really do look almost like canvas. So the effects you can create with this is incredible. Here's the one that I really particularly liked that's been done in camouflage, and I keep looking to see if this front opens. There isn't, well, I can't find it, but I've got one where these fronts open and it's really clever. We've got a little fish saying hello here, matching hat, and of course one of the lovely stencils in the background coming up very, very soon. So let's move on and we'll have a look now at, oh sorry, the jacket is going to retail for £9.99. It's called Fishing Vest. This is our fishing rod, and this has the fishing rod and quite a large fish, but again loads and loads of detail that's embossed through your machine at the same time as cutting. And I don't know if you noticed, but Jamie did a technique with this on Monday where he actually inked directly onto the die and then cut it, and all the detail came out inked. It looked superb, absolutely gorgeous. So that's another idea, but do make sure you clean your die if you're going to be doing things like that. So here's our fish and fishing rod, and you've already seen some examples of that. We have a beautiful card here showcasing all the fishing essentials. This one is from Wendy. She's used the crushed velvet paper and built up this tile effect. We've got the boat, the hat, the bucket, the hooks from the essentials, and then we've got the fish and the rod from this set, and we've got one of the sentiments that I'll show you in a sec, and then we've got the bag that's come off the frame, and that's all been done in gold mirror and then distressed with a black stays on ink pad. Isn't it lovely? I don't know, Jasmine, we had this conversation. It could be a salmon, it could be whatever you want it to be. I thought it may have been a sea trout. It's a big fish, whatever it is. It could be a cod. I mean, it don't matter, does it? It's a fish and it fits the bill. I'm not getting into semantics about a fish. And here's a really great example of using that fish, and there's a hook here and we've got our fish strung up waiting to be dealt with. Isn't that lovely? I really like this. So that's just a few examples of our fishing rod, and that is going to set you back a mere £5.99, which I think you'll agree is fabulous value, and lots of versatility there. So then we come on to our sentiments. There are 4 of them in this collection. Sorry, that light's just in the way, isn't it? There we go. So we've got Let the Adventure Begin, which is the biggest of the 4, and that one is going to set you back £3.99. Then we have Gone Fishing, Best Fishers and Keep It Real, and those three are all £3.49. And you will have spotted some of these, I'm sure, on some of the samples. We've got Best Fishes here. What have we got? Gone Fishing on this one. I like that that's been cut in 2 different colours as well, snipped apart. Best Fishers. Aren't they good? I think they're fun. If that doesn't bring a smile to somebody's face, well, say no more. Alright, now I just wanted to show you this particular example because I didn't show it last time I was talking about this collection, and I felt it needed looking at. So it came with a belly band, and we've got that fish on the belly band there as well. And then when you open it, just look at this. We have got a pop-up card with 3 levels, and all of those amazing dies are featured on this project. And this is Lynn who's done this, and she's picked out one of Jamie's slightly older sentiments, Best Dad in the World, and then she's gone to town decorating this with fish and floats, the boat, the rod, the bulrushes, the net from the frame, the rod again, and a big fish there. And then here we've got a big fish, we've got the hat, the bucket stuffed with fish, and some more bulrushes and some more fish. Just beautiful, and I think anybody would be proud to have that sat on the mantelpiece, wouldn't they? Absolutely gorgeous. So there we are. That's the core of the dies from this collection. And then we have 2 stencils as well. These are 8 by 8. I've just buried them under all those lovely samples. 8 by 8, cut from Jamie's thicker grade mylar, so they give a nice, really deep impression if you want to emboss with a rubber mat through your die cutting machine, or for using with paste, it gives you a nice deep paste. So we have the rope knots and we have the rope net, and these ones are both £6.99 each. And again, I'm going to give you some amazing results. So let's have a look at a few examples of this one. We're looking at the rope knots first of all. So here's a beautiful one done in texture paste. I think this might have been done with the clear texture paste and then had glitter sprinkled into it, but I might be wrong. It might be one of the Gemstones glitter texture pastes. I just couldn't pick out the colour. It may be a mix. Wendy's done this one, so if Wendy's watching, perhaps you could let us know what you did, Wendy, because I love that. Then we've got mica misters sprayed onto the frame to give that a beautiful pearlescent shimmer. And then we've got these gorgeous fish all hanging on silver threads. I think that's really lovely. We also then have this one. This one is also done by Wendy. I love that she's chopped up the stencil background and given us these 2 strips, and then filled up this corner with all the little elements from the collection. I think that's really beautiful. Here's a lovely one that Jamie's done, and we know he loves to emboss his stencils with the machine, and he's done that here, and he's got a fabulous deep impression. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And this has been done on the new basket weave paper. Did any of you get that, and have you played with it? Because it's gorgeous. I want to know. I need to know. And again, a lovely take on the jacket, done in the charcoal linen weave paper, and then things in the pockets there from the collection. We've got bulrushes and fish and the boat and the happy birthday that comes with the frame. So that's really lovely as well. Then I've got one here with the frame on. This is in the wrong pile, but never mind. I'm looking at the background here. That's the basket weave paper, and that's been done on the reverse, so it's debossed and then inked over, and it really brings up that pattern. Isn't it lovely? So that's the rope knots 8x8 stencil. And now let's have a look at the rope net stencil. I think my things have all got a bit mixed up in the transportation department. So again, an 8x8 stencil. Here's another one that's been done by Jamie, embossed on the coconut white. Oh no, sorry, that's the basket weave paper again. It does emboss beautifully, doesn't it? The flowers have also been cut from that paper, and they are so pretty. Absolutely love it. And I love that he's made these little studs from the brown basket weave. I think he might have cut those. Maybe dice to dot. They're a bit big, aren't they, for dice to dot? I need to know, Jimmy, what did you make these with? I love them. Then we've got the bulrushes. We've got the end of the fishing rod and the fish that come in the same set together. And you might be noticing these scalloped end rectangles on a lot of the samples. That's because we had it on the TV for the show on Saturday, but I don't know if there's any stock left of that. So maybe if you're interested, have a look and see. Oops, sorry, I've just destroyed Lynn's bookmark. So this is a bookmark that Lynn's made, and it's got this stencil. Oh, leave it alone, Gwen. On both sides, we've got the knot on this side picked out in a lovely seaside-y blue, and then we've got the rope net in silver on that side. That's a really lovely idea, isn't it? Let's see if I can find some more. So these I've got a bit mixed up. Here we have one where it's been stenciled in the traditional way. I like that dark brown ink on the brown cardstock. It's really subtle, but it's enough to break up the blankness of the background. I really like that. And here's the jacket. Look, I found it, that opens. Isn't that cool? I absolutely love it. I love that they've picked out the pockets and stuffed them. This is from Sue Wilson. These are from the frame, the hat from the Essentials, and the happy birthday to a really cool guy, also from the frame. Oh, so Jamie's telling us he used the mini circle dies from the tag die sets. Of course he did. Wow, that's genius. I love them. They look so lovely in the centre of the flowers. I'll just bring it back so you can see what we're talking about now. So these lovely little, they look like little tiny padded buttons because of the texture of that paper. And Jamie's curved them very slightly. They just look gorgeous. I shall be sneaking that idea. Thanks for that, Jamie. Okay, here's another one with the rope net. And this is a half cut front card, and we've got a beautiful panel there inside, and we've got that basket weave paper again. Isn't that lovely? And utilising circles is a great way to use little elements like this that come in sets and you're maybe not sure what to do with them. Pop them on circles and then arrange your circles. I did do a demo with that on the TV on Saturday using circles as well. So if you still want to watch that, you still can. So that's another lovely one. Have I got any more? I will have somewhere, but I can't just put my hands on them at the moment. But never mind. Oh, here we are. Here's another one. This is lovely. So again, embossed on the linen paper this time. This is from Jamie, and he's used the frame, but he's snipped away anything that was sort of sticking out at the side, and then put this scalloped end rectangle on top to fill up the centre. I think that is genius. I love it. And then we've got the fabulous jacket and this vellum wrap, and yeah, I love it in just the cream and the brown. It's really classic, isn't it? It's gorgeous. So there we are. Right, what else can I show you? Well, I've got loads of samples. I mean, how are we doing for time? Right, I'll just show you a few of these because this was something that went down well as well. bringing in Freddie the fisherman from our cuddly clan. Obviously, he's a cat, he's a fisherman, he's going to catch fish, and this is a fishing collection, so why not put them together? And I absolutely love this because he's really got his belly full. He's got a fish in his pocket, he's got fish in his hands, and look at all the detail on the corner of this. Isn't that just splendid? The boat filled with foliage, filled with fish, and the bucket and the rod is still catching fish. I think that's lovely. And it's not a lot of work to do something like that, because a lot of these dies, you cut them all at the same time. Just put them all on your cutting plate, whiz it through, and then arrange them however you like. Here's another one with our lovely Freddie. And here we've got this, I keep calling it basket weave. Is it called basket weave? I don't know. I've got it stuck in my head now. But anyway, the new off-white paper, and that actually matches coconut white perfectly. We've got Freddie there in his khakis, and I love the touch of red. Doesn't it just lift it? And he's even got the hat on his little head, look. I love that. This is one I did quite a long time ago when I was just doing Freddie on his own. So this is just the Freddie collection, bringing in all those elements from the Freddie set. Dies and stamps that complement each other beautifully. And if I get time tonight, I'm going to show you a really cool trick with dies and matching stamps that'll save you a lot of time. And here's another one from our lovely Jamie, and this time we've got these beautiful cerise top dungarees and a grey and white cat. He's got his fishing rod, and then inside we've got the fishing frame from the new collection, all the elements picked out in colour, and then we've got the basket here that comes from Freddie's set, so working in perfect harmony. And that's what we like, isn't it, with the products that we spend our hard-earned money on. So let me just show you a few of mine that I did either last week or on the telly, and then we will move on. So here's a shadow box pop-up card that I made. Dead easy to make. You just need to remember that your two pieces need to be exactly the same size. Oh, that's it, sorry. Woven texture paper. Yeah, it's 120 GSM, and you get 10 sheets in a pack for £4.99. But it's really versatile. You can do such a lot with it. As you've already seen, you can stamp on it, you can spray it, you can emboss it, you can die cut it, make flowers out of it. It's fab. Anyway, back to this. So all you need to remember is cut yourself two pieces exactly the same size, and what I tend to do is decide what I want on the front of it and then size it according to that. So I size up what will be the front of the card, whether it's 6x6, 7x5, whatever it is. Then I add an inch to the measurement on either side. So if this was 5x7, I know this is 5. This is the front panel of the card. If we get rid of those wings, you can see that's the size of the card. So it's not 7x5, but I think it might be about 5 that way. Oops, I've bent my bulrush. Painful. And then you need to add an inch on either side. So, or add 2 inches to the measurement. So if it's 5 inches, you go up to 7 inches. And then whatever your height is. So whatever your width is, that's where you add the extra 2 inches. Then you're going to score half an inch and an inch, half an inch and an inch on the front on left and right side, and on the back on left and right side, and that's it. Then you cut an aperture in the front, and I've used that beautiful fishing frame to do it on this one. So I cut a rectangle out to start with, and then I put the frame. So I found a rectangle that fit and cut the middle out, and then put the frame over it. And then before you stick the two sides together, because this is where they're attached on this little wing here, so before you put it together, you decorate the back and you start to put your elements in. And then what I've done is added a couple of floating elements that are on a little acetate strip, and that's actually stuck in between these two little fins. So you do that before you stick it together, and then you have moving elements so you can wiggle them about. I did this a good few years ago when I was working with Jane's Doodles stamps, and she did Out of This World collection, and we had tigers in space and giraffes in space, as you do. And I made a card like this, and I did like a galaxy background, and we had there's astronauts, the animal astronauts floating around in it, and it was really cool. I was really pleased with it. So it reminded me of that, and I did it again, and I love it. And we've got these fish that are wobbling about. It's cool. You can do all sorts with a card like this, but the actual formula for making it is really straightforward. So that's that one. Then here's the one I talked about, and I did this last week on Saturday on the telly. I got a sheet of the woven texture paper. I got an ink pad, a distress ink pad, and I've just rubbed it direct to the surface and smudged it all over the surface. Then I went over that with some of Jamie's beautiful metallic wax in the gold bullion and the copper pot, and that highlighted the pattern on that paper so well. Look how clearly that's come up. Then I die cut lots of circles, and this was using the 4 smallest sizes from Jamie's Nesting Circles. I've embossed the background with the rope net stencil, and then added on the fish, the happy birthday, a few little sequins, and matted it onto some of the linen texture paper. So very simple card, but very effective. And once you've made your sheet of paper, you've got loads of chopping up ability. So yeah, don't try and make specific little circles, just make a whole sheet of it and then cut into it. I think I did this one for you last time I was looking at this collection, and we've got the stencil here done with ink and a double print. We've got the velvet texture paper, and we've got the big fish, one of the little fish, and keep it real. Again, really simple, just cut into strips and then using those scalloped end rectangle dies. I also did this one on the live and added on some ink, just a sandy colour, a pale blue colour, did some water splatter, and then used the wood grain dye that we also had available on the shows. And I've used Jamie's entwined foliage for this. It's got a bit battered here, to look a bit like seaweed. That was, you know, my head. The bulrushes and some fishies, and the best fishers sentiment. So again, really simple. You don't have to be doing major things. Oh, Sharon, are you talking about the pop-up card? I did it on Hobby Maker on Saturday, so if you go back and look for the show, but if you can't find it, yes, at some point, the next time I do a request show, which I've been trying to do and I can't because I've too much else to fit in, but we'll try and fit in a request live, and then I can do it again then. I would do it tonight, but I haven't time, sorry. So let's have another look at this one. Again, this was one I did on TV, picking out elements from the frame, the rod from the Rod and Fish, some of the Essentials collection, the Gone Fishing, and using corrugated cardboard. I love using corrugated cardboard. It's a fantastic substrate. If you like a rustic sort of look, you can distress it with ink, paint, gesso. You can stitch things onto it, you can clip things onto it. It's fab. So I decided to use it on this fishing card. And then the last one of mine I have to show you. I have got more, but I'm keeping them for a secret mission. Is this one, and again I've used the rope knot stencil And this time I inked through the stencil with a distress ink, and then I put clear texture paste through it without moving the stencil. And the clear texture paste picks up the ink so it becomes coloured. And then I've added in the bag, the hat, the rod from the side of the frame, the gone fishing from the frame, and the fisherman's vest. So I think there are endless possibilities with this collection, and the sheer variety of samples that we have is testament to that. I mean, it's quite incredible the variety that has been achieved. So again, a big thank you to Sue Wilson, Jamie Rogers, and the design team, of course, who are stars. So there we are. So I'm going to come back to you now. Hello. And catch you up on some bits of news. Oh, thank you, Jamie. I can't even remember. It's all a blur. I think it was the second show. Yeah, which was at 5 o'clock. Yeah, 5 o'clock last Saturday. So you'll be able to find it still on Hobby Maker, and also on YouTube. So I hope that helps. But I will, as I say, we will schedule in a request live when you can get your questions in. I do need them in advance because there will be prep work to do. So unfortunately, if you pop in on the night and go, oh, can you show me this? I might not be able to oblige. But yeah, we'll try and schedule that in at some point quite soon, because that'd be nice. I like doing things like that as well. It's fun. Right, so what news have I got? Well, for a start, where can you find this fishing collection? So our lovely stockists are the stars of the show tonight. We are promoting our stockists because we don't sell direct to public, so we sell to stockists, and then you can go and get them from your local craft shop. We need to be supporting local craft shops. They are a dying breed, and it's really important. So this is why we're so hot on promoting the stockists and supporting them in any way we can. So let me tell you who you can buy the fishing collection from. There are a lot. So it's obviously proven very, very popular. So we have Hazel's Crafts, Jilly's Crafts. Incidentally, if any of the stockists are listening in, pop a link. You feel free to pop a link to your websites, your shops, and let people know where you are, because then they can come and find you, can't they? Which is what it's all about. So we also have Into Craft, Unicorn Crafts, Craft Bliss. Oh, did any of you see Adam's Craft Clock? It was, when was it? Midday? I can't remember what day it was, but it was really lovely. And they're independent stockists, and I've been down there to do a demo day, and they're really lovely, lovely people. And we had a fabulous time with them. But they were on Adam's Craft O'Clock, and it was really interesting to see what they had to say as well. So if you haven't seen that, you can find that on YouTube. Look for Hobby Maker and then look for Craft O'Clock. Right, where was I? Sorry. Craft Bliss, yeah, affordable crafting, Craft Mania. Now this one, Jamie, was struggling to pronounce this the other night. You need a northern accent, Jamie. It's Crafty Wafty. It makes way more sense than Crafty Wafty. Anyway, Crafty Wafty have got the fishing collection. Cheshire Crafts also have it. Thank you, Sharon. That's okay. Yeah, I will do it. Glitter Bits Gifts and Crafts, which just happens to be where I'm going on Saturday. Woohoo! I can't wait. I'm so excited. I love travelling up and down the country. It's great. And of course, it is still available from Hobby Maker, though. For how much longer, we're not sure. But it's worth having a look and see what they've still got in stock as well, if you can't get to a stockist. So they're all the shops who've bought this collection and already have it. So you don't have to wait for it. It's out there. It was released on Tuesday to the stockists. Um, so yeah, go and fill your boots. So another bit of exciting news is that Creative Expressions have now become a distributor. Sorry, I couldn't think of the right word then. A distributor for Polka Doodles. I love Polka Doodles products. Yes, Hayley, you and I understand, don't we? Um, I wonder if they are in Yorkshire. Where are they based, Crafty Wafty? I hope they're, I hope they're not southern because I've probably just really massacred their name. Anyway, so yeah, so they're now distributing Polka Doodles, and the lovely Nikki has approached Jamie, and they've had a conversation, and Jamie is now distributing Polka Doodles products, which is really, really lovely, and they are fantastic. They have some lovely products, a fantastic range, um, quite creative, quite inventive, some of it. If you've not seen them before, do go and have a look at Creative Expressions and hunt for Polka Doodles and have a look around because they've some gorgeous stuff. And it's flying out the doors apparently. So lots of people have been buying it for the shops. So let me tell you where you can find Polka Doodles. Another long list and some very exciting things as well. So we have Hadrian's Hobbies, Into Craft, Affordable Crafting, Craftomania, Crafty Wafty, Cheshire Crafts, and a new stockist, the Pickwell Farm Shop, which sounds a bit random, but I'm assuming they have a craft department because they bought lots of polka doodles and will be stocking it. So that's exciting. Don't know where they are, but yeah, sounds lovely. I bet you can go and get your lunch there at the same time. That sounds like a day out. Now we have a new stockist in Canada as well, which is very exciting. And they are scrapping great deals. So if you are a Canadian customer, if you happen to be watching tonight, welcome and hello. And if you're looking for a Canadian stockist, that might be the one for you. So scrapping great deals and now stocking polka doodles, distributed by Creative Expressions. So I've got quite a lot to tell you tonight, so let's press on. A new feature that we've introduced on a Sunday lunchtime, 12 o'clock, so midday. We have got a new feature on the CE, that's Creative Expressions, main Facebook page. So search for Creative Expressions on Facebook and that will take you to the main page, and at 12 noon on a Sunday we have a new feature, and this is specifically for our design team, and I think this is a lovely idea because they do work so hard but they're kind of in the background and we don't get to know them very well, so it's giving them the opportunity to come along and have a little chat with you all about their journey, their crafting life, how they got started, how they've ended up where they are now, and all that kind of thing, as well as sort of things they like doing, anything like that. It's just an informal chat, and it's a really lovely opportunity for them to introduce themselves to you, for you to get to know them better, and maybe learn something really interesting. So that's midday on Sunday, and it's going to be weekly. So hop along please and support them and get to know them better, because they deserve recognition because their work is outstanding, and a lot of it goes unsung. So I think that's really nice that you can be introduced to them, because you know they're not sort of public facing, and they don't want to be. So you know this is a stretch for some of them to come onto Facebook and chat, but I think it's really nice. So you can get on there, ask them some questions, ask them for hints and tips, maybe. Oh, they might be cursing me now I've said that, but I'm sure they'll oblige if you have questions. But yeah, just generally get to know a little bit more about them. So I think that's lovely. So 12 noon on a Sunday on the CE page. Now then, new stock. This is always exciting. Not new collections. Don't panic. Not yet. Foundations cardstock. I know a lot of you are big fans of this. I am myself. I absolutely adore Foundations cardstock. I was gutted when we thought we were going to lose it and ecstatic when it came back. The colours are beautiful. The texture of it is beautiful. The way it works, it cuts beautifully. You can stamp on it. All the things. It's fabulous. Well, we have new colours. I haven't seen them. I am itching. Jamie tells me they're absolutely stunning. I'm sure they are. But also quite a few new colours and some of the older colours coming in at 300 GSM, which is fabulous. I am really, really pleased about that. 300 GSM means you can make your card blanks with it. I mean, you could anyway, but it sometimes, because it varied, you know, some of it was 240 GSM, which is perhaps a little bit light. Nice for your mats and layers, but maybe a little bit too light for your card blank. I personally like a 300 GSM card blank, so I'm really, really happy because I make all my own card blanks. So I can't wait. I cannot wait to see what they're going to be like. So lots of new colours coming in. I think we have got more new colours coming from the range in general as well. So keep an eye out for Jamie. He will be letting you know on one of his lives, and I'm sure he'll be doing a flick through for all of the colours that he's now got. So keep an eye out for that. Now, another thing that he's going to show on Friday, he's doing a flick through of some new woodware back in stock. Well, I say new, back in stock woodware stamps. 50 new designs. So these haven't been in back in stock. They haven't already been in the warehouse. These are new back in stocks. 50 of them. And Jamie's going to flick through on Friday for you. Lots of firm favourites coming back. I wonder if there'll be a Norman. Ooh, what do you think? There might be. Francoise was teasing, wasn't she, on her show talking about Norman, so I don't know. I don't know. I know nothing. Absolutely. I'm in the dark about this one. I'm not, don't quote me. But that would be exciting, wouldn't it? So there we are. Lots going on. Isn't it exciting? And it's lovely that you're all here and keeping up with us because, oh, that's cheeky. Oh, tempting. Maybe a little bit of Norman. Well, you'll have to watch on Friday and find out which are coming back, won't you? There's going to be some of your favourites, I'm sure. Maybe some that you couldn't get last time they were out, or missed out on, or couldn't afford at the time, or I don't know. There's lots of reasons, aren't there, why we miss out on things, but maybe now's the time to catch up on a couple of favourites. So keep an eye out for that on Friday night's Natter. I think, is it a Friday night Natter, Jamie? What's the time of it, please? Let's let these people know. Oh, Maureen, how rude. Oh, that's a shame. I'm glad you found us at last, yes. Oh, did you? Very nice, Jasmine. Right, that's all the news. That's all the updates as far as the creative expressions are concerned. Personally, I only have to tell you. Oh, right. So Jamie's saying, keep an eye on the woodware page tomorrow for a flick through. No time as yet, so keep an eye for that popping up. Okay. Personally, I have obviously got a road trip coming up on Saturday. Well, I'm actually setting off tomorrow because I'm down in Northamptonshire this time, in a beautiful place called Maudsley near Kettering, and I'm going to Glitter Bits Crafts and Gifts. And I'm really looking forward to it. Two lovely ladies that run the shop, and I'm hoping we're going to get lots of eager visitors on the day. So, oh no. Oh, Crafty Wafty are from the south. They're from Essex. Never mind. It's just one of those. Okay. yeah, so I'm hoping we're going to get lots of visitors. I've got loads and loads to show them. I've got so much inspiration. I can't even begin. I can't wait. So if you are in the vicinity of Kettering, Northamptonshire on Saturday, please drop in and say hello. We will have a special die of the day at a crazy price. We also have a fantastic, oh, the value is unbelievable of this one, die bundle pack for the demo day as well. And I will be featuring the fishing collection, Sue Wilson's Christmas collection, which came out a little while ago, so I'm revisiting that, which is lovely because that's a lovely collection. What else? Oh, Francois's new autumn collection. And I'm also going to be giving them some hints and tips on the metallic ink pads and ring inkers. So if you are in the vicinity and any of that appeals to you, please do come say hello. I'm sure the kettle will be on. And yeah, come and have a chat. Can't wait. I look forward to it. So I'm just going to do one quick demo tonight. I'm not going to keep you too long because I've got a lot to do. You've probably got a lot to do. But I did want to do at least one little demo for you. So I am going to show you how to create this. So this is a DL card and it features this die, which is a Sue Wilson shadow box, but it's a slimline one. This is going to be, I don't know if I can say this, but I will anyway, in the die bundle that's available on Saturday at Glitter Bits and Crafts. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so I just thought that the shadow box range of dies, there are others, there are different sizes, different shapes, are perfect for a collection like this that has lots of individual elements. And to be able to arrange them in these little windows is just perfect, isn't it? In fact, that's, you know, when Sue brought them out, that was what the collection featured. It featured the shadow box and all the little bits that went in the windows. So now that she's brought out these little elements, smaller elements, these shadow boxes are going to come back, aren't they, and have a new lease of life. So I decided I would make one and use the slimline, and I've paired it up with Jamie's nesting slimline dies. It fits them perfectly, and obviously lots of things going on in this collection as well. So let's make a start. Now I haven't done this for you live tonight, but I did do it a couple of weeks ago when I did the fishing the first time. So this is the rope net stencil, and what I've done, I've put it onto a piece of card and I've sprayed through it with the green mister. I think it's emerald green. And then I haven't used that, but I've used the stencil that then had ink on the surface. So I got a clean piece of card and I turned the stencil over and pressed the ink onto the clean piece of card, and that's how I've achieved this. But I don't want it to stay like that because it's too clean. I don't do clean very often. So I'm going to get some distressing. This one is gathered twigs, and I'm just going to ink. What I love and what I've discovered about Jamie's sprays is that once they've dried, they're actually permanent and they don't move. So even if you've sprayed one colour and then you spray another, which again was something I did last week, but was it last week? Yeah, when I did the fishing collection the first time. Let it dry, let the first colour dry. You can then spray a second colour and it doesn't bleed, it doesn't move, which is quite special. I was very surprised and pleasantly so. So I'm inking over this with distressing, which as you know is water based, water reactive, and it's not moving that stenciled ink at all. So isn't it cool? So although I did this on a piece of white card, I can now change the colour. I could go any colour I wanted, but I'm going brown because we're doing fishing. And my card's pretty much brown, apart from all the little elements on the shadow box. So I'm just inking between the green to take off that white starkness. And I really like the effect. It's not very clear what it is, but that's okay. But it's one of those things that if you try to make it look like that, it'd be nigh on impossible to repeat. So if I hold that up now, you can see the texture from the stencil, and it's, you know, it's blobby in some places and it's fine detail in others, and I like that variation. So there's my shadow box. And then I decided, I've actually changed it a little bit from my original, and I went to use the linen texture paper in the calico, and I decided I was going to do that instead. On the first one, I used the rope net stencil and stenciled into the background, and I like that. And then I thought, well, I'll do this one with a plain back, and ring the changes a little bit. So that's what I've done. So I'm now going to attach this to the linen paper, and I've actually backed that onto a piece of card so that I can put foam onto it should I want to. So using fine nozzle glue bottle, I'm just going to whiz around the frame. It's a 2-die set, so it comes with a panel that cuts all the little windows, and then it has an outer edge. So you can cut it, this is cut with its own edge, so it gives a very thin border. But if you don't use that, you can make the border as wide as you want, and then you can frame it differently. So it's one of those really versatile sets. But you'll have to be in Kettering on Saturday, that's all I'm saying. Unless you find a stockist that's got some. It was originally from a Christmas collection, and sometimes it's misleading because you think it's a festive die, but it's really not. It could be absolutely anything. Now, rather than trying to fit that onto my panel, I'm going to fit my panel onto it. And I've cut my panel with the same outside die, so it's exactly the right size, and it's going to fit it absolutely perfectly. So just get that into place, and then we'll let that dry. Okay. Squiffy corner there. Right, and press that down. So now we've got our shadow box filled with a nice background. Okay. Then I decided on my mats and layers. So I've made a DL card, and this is in the standard coconut white. I've then used Jamie's Deckle and Stitch DL nesting dies and cut that in craft brown, and that's going to go onto the front of the card. And then I have used Jamie's plain edged rectangles DL to cut in the brown linen texture paper, and then that's just a slightly darker shade of brown than the craft brown, and I really like that combination. I love it. So I just need to assemble these. Put this on first. Again, if you like to use foam pads, you could lift this. I'm just going to go flat for this one. I love these dies. They're just beautifully proportioned, and when you cut them, they just fit together so nicely. It takes all the hard work and struggle out of trying to get mats and layers cut to fit. It's great. Love it. So thank you, Jamie. Then I'm going to apply this panel of the linen texture paper. Hayley, I am coming at some point to Sheffield. Is that anywhere near you? you're not that far from me. But yeah, keep an eye out for that one. It'll be next year now. Can't believe I'm saying that. I'm booked up for the rest of this year, and I'm booked up until about May next year, I think, which is incredible, and I'm very grateful. So yeah, it's really lovely to get out and meet the stockists. Really lovely. And the customers, of course. So if there are any stockists listening, maybe give it some thought. They're very successful. All the ones we've done so far have been hugely successful, and the stockists have been very happy. So, right. So now I want to put some foam tape on the back of this, and I'm using Jamie's wonderful giant roll of 1mm thick. Have I got my scissors? No, of course I haven't. So I'm just going to put 2 strips up the long sides. Oh, my screen keeps fading. Yeah, I didn't think it was Hayley. Right. So I don't know when it is. I can't remember, but it is next year sometime. And then just one up the middle like so. Okay. And now I can mount this. Just decide which way you want your shadow box to be, and make sure you've got your card the right way around. Obviously, the beauty of these is that they can go any way. You can have it horizontal like that, horizontal like that, vertical like this, vertical like this. Oh, January. There you go, Hayley. Get it in your diary, Chuck. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, you can have it any orientation, but also you can change it, because you can snip out some of these little bars and change the size of the boxes, which is really, really versatile, really clever. So I'm loving this. I did use it years ago. I don't know where it went. I lost it when I was doing some Christmas dies for Sue Wilson, and I loved it then. And then these things, you know, they go on the back burner, don't they? You forget about them. So it's really lovely to have it coming back again, or making an appearance again. Okay, so that's it. That's the card made. So when you'll have Christmas money to spend, Hayley, hopefully. Now you can put whatever you want in there. You might want to do a gardening themed card. You might want to do flowers. Perhaps for Mother's Day coming up, you might want to do hearts. I mean, not in these colours maybe, but you get the idea. You can put whatever you want in them. I know Sue's done a Christmas collection that fits in here, and she did a baby collection, and there were loads of little minis that were really gorgeous that fit in these shadow boxes. But tonight we are looking at this fishing collection, because the elements from that fit perfectly. Sharon, we always announce them here on the lives. Jamie and I both keep you up to date on where I'm going to be and when. So if you tune into the lives, you'll always know what's going on and where I'm going to be. All the news, we always bring it to you. So yeah, it'd be nice for you to pop in and learn about all the stuff we're up to, because there's a lot. A lot. Right, so I did get ahead here because obviously these do take, you know, a few minutes to produce, but I've used the Essential Collection, I've used the frame, I've cut the bag away from the frame, I've cut the large bulrush away from the frame, and then I've got things from the Essential Collection. I've got the fish. That little fishy die cuts those 4 all in one cut. And I made a coloured piece of card again with Jamie's sprays. And then I just cut all my fish and my bulrushes out of that. So I've got these lovely variegated fish. And then I just wanted a brighter one, so I cut one. I've cut this little lure off the end of the fishing rod. It's tiny, that. Can you see it? The detail on it's unbelievable. I've cut that with the linen paper. I've cut the floats out of craft brown card, and I'm going to do a little bit of colouring on that for you. There's one that's coloured. I cut the bucket out of silver card. I cut the hat out of green linen, and then I cut it again and just took the little strap and added it onto the hat. That was fiddly, but it was nice. And then these three fantastic hooks. When you colour over, you can really see the detail in them. They're unbelievable. Really clever. So those are all my bits and pieces. I just want to do a little bit of colouring to show you how I did some of them. It's really not hard. You do need a little bit of patience, but it's easy to do. So I'm using two types of pen. I have the Koi colouring brush pen, which I absolutely adore. These are watercolour ink in a pen, and they have a beautiful brush tip on them. And then I'm also using some Jelly Roll glitter pens, just for detail. It's the easiest way. I don't use alcohol markers, I never have. I'm really very much into watercolour pens and all of that. But if you like using alcohol markers, they're perfectly fine, and you can do all of this with those as well. So my bulrushes, now that's come out of that inky sheet of card I made. You probably can't see it very well, but it's really variegated from shades of green, bits of red, shades of brown, and it just really brings them to life. But I just wanted to add the brown tops to them. So I've got my pen and I'm using it flat, so I'm using the side of it, and I just take it over. Now look how quick that was. So just keep it flat and then swipe. That's the same technique you need to use if you're doing direct inking onto a stamp as well, because you can use these to do that, ink onto the rubber, but always keep your pen flat, otherwise you destroy the nib. Okay, and then I've got a red one here, and I've got these little floats. I've cut them out of craft because I felt they might be made from wood. I don't know. What are they made from? I've just inked one end with a brown ink just to bring up a little bit of the detail and to darken it a little bit. And then I've got my red brush marker. There's a little embossed panel here, and I'm just going to put my pen flat and I'm going to drag it across. And because it's embossed, it naturally just finds the line. Look at that. How cool is that? So that's the floats. The bucket I actually inked with black distress ink, and although it is metallic cardstock, it still dries, so I just swiped some black soot around the edges. It will dry, but it won't be permanent. You know, if you were to handle it, it would probably smudge, but once it's in place, it's fine. But that just gave it a really lovely sort of tarnished finish. And again, the detail on that is quite staggering. So that's the bucket. And then the fish, what else have I shown you? Oh yeah, the basket I've inked again. I've taken the brown ink and just gone round, enhanced the edges, and then taken a very fine pen and picked out some of the embossed detail, because it's got little buckles and it's got little woven sections and all sorts. It's really cool. So that's the bag. And then the lures, or the hooks, or I don't know what they're called, but any road. These. They are hooks, aren't they? They've got hooks on the end. So I cut this out of coconut white. I've used the pen and inked like I've just shown you with my pen on the side, and it picks up all that detail. And then I've got my silver stardust jelly roll, and I'm going to do the hooks with that, just so they've got a little bit of a metallic sparkle. So just when you're using these pens, it's important to do a little circular motion, otherwise the ink doesn't flow properly. They've got a little valve in here that controls the flow, so you have to work slowly-ish in little circles, and then it comes out really nicely. So that just gives a little metallic shimmer on the end of those hooks. What else? Oh, all this detail. It's great fun. It reminds me of when I was a kid. I used to love making things for Doll's House. My granddad made me a doll's house out of wood, and it wasn't like a proper, it was just like a box, but it was fabulous. It was my doll's house and I loved it. And I used to decorate all sorts for it, make things, and this just took me back. It was really, really lovely to making little things in miniature and decorating things. I love it. I love it. Right, so I'm going to add a little bit of this gorgeous wax, the metallic wax, over these fish. So although they were all from that inky dark sheet, but you can change it once you've cut them. You can enhance them, and this time I'm doing that with the gold metallic wax. Also, these little tiddlers, we can add a bit onto them as well. It just gives them a bit more fishiness, if that's a word, because fish are beautifully iridescent, aren't they? They're not just murky colours. So there we are. I think that's all the detail now worked out. Yeah. And then I've got the sentiment best fishes, and I've cut that twice and stacked it so it's a little bit thicker, but I've done it in the linen texture paper. So there we go. That's all the elements that I need now for my card. So now it's just a matter of putting them all together. So I'm going to start with the bulrushes. I'm going to attach them to the bottom left side of the frame, just there. Then I'm going to bring in my fishing tackle bag, and I'm going to tuck that behind the bulrushes where he's left it. He's gone off and he's left his bag tucked into the bulrushes. Then I'm going to add in the sentiment. So I'm just going to use my fine tip. I do prefer to use a finger dauber on the blending mat, but did I have it ready? No. Doesn't matter, I'll do it this way. And then I'll just take a little bit of that excess glue off, just so it doesn't bleed everywhere. And then I can pop that in the corner of this frame. There we go. So that's our first window done. You could add more grasses, more bulrushes, whatever you want. I didn't add too much because these are all going to get quite busy. So I didn't want to fill up every space. You've got to have a balance, haven't you, between content and space. I think it's important to have some space. It's like we talk about white space on cards, that's important as well. So I'll pop the hat at a jaunty angle. That's just going to sit in that window. So you can see how quickly this could come together if you just get all your elements ready, spend a little bit of fun time decorating them, adding the detail, and then assemble. So my fishing hook is going to go in that one. Excuse me. I'm going to start adding the floats. One of them upright, one of them's fallen over. They've just been thrown aside. And you don't have to stay within the window. It's quite nice if some of the elements actually encroach a little bit, and then it doesn't look absolutely too boxy. You know, it's nice to have a bit of movement as well. Oops. Fishy. So here we've got our prize specimens in their own little windows. There we go. And then the hooks, again, I'm just going to pop them. You can put them straight if you like things straight, absolutely. I just felt I wanted them to look like they just naturally tumbled, you know, where they've been dropped, sort of thing. So mix them up a little bit. Basically, I was filling the space with them, but I thought I didn't want them absolutely, you know, all in a line. There we go. So that's that. And then the last one I have to do is my little bucket of fish. I've got 4 of the tiny little tiddlies and 1 of the slightly bigger, and he's in a much stronger colour, just to ring the changes a little bit, because again, it can all, if you stick to all the same colours, it gets a bit samey. So it's nice just to pop in a splash of colour here and there. So I'm going to put glue on the fish and put the bucket on the fish. It's a lot easier, I find, than trying to glue the fish to the bucket. So I only need to put a little bit of glue on the tail and then just hook the bucket over it. Change the angle up a little bit that they are at. Add some more into this side. I don't want too much glue because it just takes a lot longer to dry, so if I get a load of glue on, I just tend to wipe a bit away. Because you only need a tiny bit of this glue, it's really strong. And it just stops it oozing everywhere as well. Okay, so we've got our little fishies in there, and then our slightly bigger one as well. That's the prize catch of the day, that one. So let's pop him in the bucket as well. There we go. And then we can add our bucket into the final little window. So put the glue on the back. There we are, Shadow Box Fishing Collection, courtesy of the lovely Sue Wilson. So there we are, isn't that fabulous? And it's bringing all those elements together. So there's the one I've already done with the stenciled background, and there's the one with the linen weave paper background. Which one's your favourite? Okay. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope it's given you a little bit more inspiration with this amazing collection. Let me just pop back. I know there's been a lot of comments that I've missed, so let me see. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you. Oh, sorry, Sharon. No, we don't think you're being rude at all. Sorry, darling. No, that's not it. We just, half the time, we don't know what we're doing. We're planning that far ahead. We forget. Um, you're not being a nuisance. Please don't ever feel like that at all. It's really not a problem. You ask away. Um, it's just these things do take a little bit of time. All we know so far is the month and where I'm going. The actual date's not pinned down. But please, as soon as we know, yeah, we will let you know. So, thank you, Sharon. Um, Thank you all. Thank you very much. I've had a lovely evening with you all. Thank you so much for your company. And don't forget, track down the goodies at your local stockists and go and find the bits and pieces that you need. And don't forget about Jamie's flick through on Friday of the returning woodware favourites. I can't wait, but I'll be driving, so I won't be able to watch. Ugh. But I'll catch up later. So have a lovely rest of your evening. Thank you very much for your company. Take care. Bye for now.